Hello everyone, today is the 21st of January and today I am bringing to you guys our first Master Duel Deck profile, Zodiac Zeus Turbo. Now, I feel like Zodiac is one archetype that needs no introduction considering it was one of the game's few tier 0 decks, but since this is a beginner friendly video, here's a small introduction. The Zodiacs are an archetype that perform one card XC summons and gain different effects depending on what main deck monsters they used as material. What sounds like a cool mechanic ended up being a nightmare to balance, as the deck completely took over the format in both the OCG and TCG until Konami decided to kill it by banning multiple of its main playmakers. The deck then remained in a completely crippled, unplayable state until 2020, when Konami released a generic Seas monster that fit the deck like a glove, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. Now, over here at Master Duel, the deck still has a bunch of limits since we are mostly following last year's OCG ban list, but what caught my eye was how cheap the deck score is. It only has one SR and one UR that you can only play one of anyway. The rest of the deck is just staples. This means that it is perfect when starting out, since you can basically just craft your important cards and still come out with an awesome deck on top. But okay, here's the game plan. We're going to use Zodiac's natural stacking ability to make a multiple material board ball, attack directly, and then on main phase 2, rank up into Zeus to have a black hole on legs on command. If however we are going first, our objective is to make our opponent's lives miserable, using multiple trap cards and interruptions. Okay, here's the deck list. 3 copies of every Zodiac monster, 3 copies of Bunny Blast, 3 copies of Whiptail, 3 copies of Thoroughblade, 3 copies of Ramram, and 3 copies of Cataroost, because every Zodiac gets you into your combo, 1 copy of Raigeki because it's free, 1 copy of Monster Reborn because again it's free, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity to search out our cards, 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. This is a staple for Beast Warrior decks. It basically searches any Zodiac monster. 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. If you have them, you can run Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twisters in its place, but MST is a cheaper alternative. 2 copies of Book of Moon because the latter is filled with Triton players that play Herald and Draconids, also filled with Invoked players playing Mechaba, so this is a good card to interrupt them. And this last back row is just interruption trap cards. Now, if you have them, you can run Solemn Warning, you can run Effect Veiler, you can run Icy Dragon's Prison, more copies of Impermanence, more copies of Judgment, but Bottomless Trap Hole and Void Trap Hole will do just fine. Now, for the extra deck, we're running 3 copies of Tiger Mortar, 1 copy of Zodiac Trident, because you can only play 1, 3 copies of Borbol, 1 copy of Hammer Kong, 2 copies of Chakanine, 1 copy of Zeus, because you can only run 1, and then just any extra deck monster to banish off Prosperity. I'm running these Link monsters, but you can run basically anything. You can run Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon if you want. Now this should be it for the deck profile part of the video. Let's get on to the replays. Our first game is against Thunder Dragons, and it perfectly shows what this deck is all about. Our opponent is going to use Thunder Dragon's effect to search for Thunder Dragon, use the second Thunder Dragon's effect to search for another Thunder Dragon, use Upstart Goblin, then activate Monster Reborn to bring back a Thunder Dragon from the grave. He's then going to use that Thunder Dragon to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus, and then use that Colossus to summon a Thunder Dragon Titan. He's then going to activate Thunder Dragon Fusion to summon yet another Titan. He's then going to set 2 and pass it to us. We're going to activate Pot of Generosity to search off the top, and MST because the back row is very threatening. We're then going to activate MST on one the back row, normal summon Ramram, Xyz into Tiger Mortar, Xyz into Hammer Kong, then Xyz into Jackanine, and then Xyz into Borbo. We're then going to attack directly with Borbo for 200 and rank up into Zeus. We activate Zeus effect and set 2. Our opponent is going to banish Thunder Dragon Fusion to add Thunder Dragon Roar, then send the Roar to the graveyard to add back the Fusion to the hand. We are going to Solemn Judgment that Fusion. Our opponent is then going to set 1 and surrender because he noticed he can't do anything against Zeus. And we're back with the deck. Honestly, while this is not Tri Brigade, I feel like it does the job pretty well. Let's do the pros and cons. First, it is very cheap. Second, it is very easy to pilot, even a monkey with a bow could do it. Now for the cons. It is very linear. If your opponent knows what you are doing, you are not going to be able to summon Zeus. Second, it gets kinda boring after a while. You really only have one line, and that is the Summon Zeus line. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and to subscribe for more Master Duel content. My name's Lynx, and I'm out. Peace.